Well, we're in the Bald Mountain Fire Department, where I also serve, and this is a map that represents the area basically where the new church will exist and serve those neighbors living in around Pine Ridge. So roughly we have 10 square miles of area, and the neighborhoods include Meadow Lakes subdivision. We have the Ponderosa Acres. Behind us, the fire station. We have Sugarloaf and Acorn Road, up on Radio Lane and out Beale Fire Road, then up on Mile High and over to Alder Springs, where my family lives, out to Toll House Road, and we have Shaver Springs and Cressman's subdivision, and a little way up to Shaver, past Shaver Ranch and the area around there. Church on the Ridge represents a vision of, I think, a lot of people.
The best thing about living up here is the quiet, the beauty of it.
Everyone knows each other. It's very small, and I've been up here my whole life, so.
Everybody knows their neighbor. You know the joys, you know the concerns, you know what the needs are, and it's absolutely wonderful to live in a community like that.
Everybody waves at you when you drive by, even the kids. Yeah, don't know who they are half the time, but they wave. And heaven forbid they get a new car, because then you really wouldn't know who they are.
When you're living up in a community surrounded by mountains, I think you know you're not alone, and that the Spirit of God is really present up here.
I work in Fresno, and so coming up the hill, and I like getting away from Fresno. I'm a teacher, my students can't follow me.
What do you think is the hardest thing about living up here?
Getting snowed in and not being able to reach your wood pile is not real great. But I think probably the hardest thing is sometimes there's nobody there but you and the Lord.
The hardest thing is probably the potential for isolation. If you choose to be isolated, that could be hard on you psychologically after a while.
The most difficult thing as far as living here would probably be the choice snow that we have on occasion, the heavy snow. And I'm on a schedule that I'm not always home when it snows, so my wife will be sometimes stranded. That bothers me.
The hardest thing can be separation sometimes. It's too easily to become separated, and we've talked about that. Too easily. I think that's it. It's not the drive, it's not living up in a beautiful place, it's too easy to become separated from people.
There's a dearth around here. There's no opportunity for people to gather, particularly when the snows get deep or the weather is not well for traveling. And there are other people who find it very inconvenient to go far from their homes. We're talking of several hundred families that live in this area who right now either commute, and some of them you've seen, either commute to Fresno or up or down the hill. Church on the Ridge is seeking to answer that need and that call.
What's the best thing about Church on the Ridge?
A lot.
The best thing about Church on the Ridge is to make a gathering place to learn about the Lord that's close to those of us that live up here.
I believe that having a church in the community would provide spiritual guidance that might be lacking for some people. I think it'd be a nice way to pull the community together.
Church up here, people wouldn't have to drive everywhere, and they could just walk over, and also everybody knows everybody already, so they wouldn't have to go meet new people and feel uncomfortable.
Everybody has a fit that's right for them, and you know, the more that we can offer in a community, the more ways to worship. I think that's good because, like I said, what's right for one does not necessarily work for somebody else, and so I think it's an awesome thing.
A neighborhood church brings neighbors together, and knowing your neighbor and knowing the folks who live next to you, or the people down the road, or even the car that drives by and waves. You know who that is. That's one thing. So a community church I think is pretty. It's a pretty good idea.
Having a church up here that we can go to, you know, that we know people from the community, I think it's a good thing. You know, it'd be nothing but good.
I think a church up here on the ridge is going to be the connection between the vertical and the horizontal, between the Spirit of God and the people of God. And that's what we need up here.
It is my hope and my dream that a fresh and new work of God could begin on this ridge, and that people who do not know the Lord can be drawn in, who see the love and fellowship and the works of those who continue to participate in Church on the Ridge.
Such is the way of the world, you can never know just where to put all your